One of the most common retirement mistakes I see isn't spending too much, making bad investments, or lacking discipline. It's something quieter and much easier to overlook. It's waiting too long to get real clarity about your plans. Hi, I'm Snook Jin, a certified financial planner, and I work with couples who are about 5 to 10 years away from retirement. No matter your income, career, or industry, I hear the same phrase over and over. We thought we had more time. Even though that belief seems reasonable, it often leads to unnecessary stress later on. High-earning couples are usually great at building wealth. You've built strong careers, earned good incomes, saved regularly, and made thoughtful choices along the way. Now, on paper, things look solid. Balances are growing, contributions are still going in, financially, everything feels fine. That's exactly why this mistake happens so often. Nothing feels urgent because you are still working. You are still earning good income. You are still saving. So planning isn't just ignored, it just gets put off. But the last 5 years before retirement are different from any other stage of your financial life. The choices you make now affect more than just growth. They shape your flexibility, income reliability, and how much control you have once your paychecks stop. This is often when you have the most options, and waiting can quietly take some of them away. For example, this is usually the best time for tax planning. While you're still working, you can look at how to use different accounts, how future required minimum distributions might affect your other income, and how timing your decisions could impact taxes over the long run. Once you retire, many of these choices are harder to change. Risk decisions also start to matter in new ways. Earlier in life, market ups and downs were mostly emotional. You still had time, income, and regular savings on your side. As retirement gets closer, that same market volatility can have a bigger impact, especially when as you focus more on income planning. And that leads to income itself. Many high-earning couples know how much they have saved, but they haven't figured out how income will actually show up each month. Which accounts will you use first? How flexible is that income? What happens if expenses go up, healthcare costs rise, or one spouse retires earlier than planned? Without clarity in this area, retirement can feel uncertain, even if you have strong savings. Here's the key point. Waiting rarely ruins retirement plan, but it usually limits your options. When couples start planning conversation earlier, they usually have more room to adjust, test different scenarios, and build in flexibilities. If those talks happen later, the plan might still work, but it often feels tighter, more reactive, and more stressful than it needs to be. This is where a simple change in mindset can help. Planning earlier does not mean retiring earlier. It does not mean taking drastic action. And it does not mean something is wrong. It just means choosing clarity before your decisions are set in stone. Many couples worry that planning means locking everything in. In reality, it's about understanding trade-offs. It's about seeing how taxes affect income, how income affects risk, and how timing shapes everything else. When you see those connections clearly, your decisions feel more intentional. I've worked with couples who waited until their last year before retirement to plan, and others who started 5 years earlier. The biggest difference usually isn't how much they have saved, it's how confident they feel. Couples who start earlier tend to feel more prepared because fewer decisions are rushed. If retirement is coming up and you and your spouse haven't had a planning conversation yet, you're not behind. It just means that getting clear now can still make a real difference. If you would like a structured way to step back and see how income, taxes, risk, and timing all fit together for your situation, there is a link below to help you take the next step.